Day 18 reading. Today's story is very long, like 16 pages, so I complete 4 pages today. The Princess and the Ugly Dwarf. When the Pandavas were in exile for 13 years, their spiritual teacher, sage Dhyomya, used to sometimes visit to entertain and counsel them by telling them stories. Frequently, Yudhishthir regretted having bet Draupadi in a game of dice and losing her along with his crown. When he finally shared this with the sage, Dhyomya said, "Good times and bad are inevitable in the circle of life. During tough periods, people do things that are sometimes out of their nature. Even a sermon or an intelligent suggestion may not help. History is filled with stories of kings who have made such foolish and caused their families to suffer. In all cases, people have managed to pass through the rough times, hence there can never be permanently good or bad time in anyone's life." Yudhishthir was curious. He asked, "But was there ever a foolish king like me who played a game of dice, bet his wife, and lost his kingdom? I have caused grief to my family and my subjects." "Yes, there was," said the sage. "His name was Nal. Let me tell you his story. There lived a beautiful princess named Damayanti of the kingdom of Vidarbha. Her beauty was so renowned that even the gods could not help but admire her. The king of Nishad kingdom had 2 sons, Nal and Pushkar. Nal was very handsome, charming, and well respected. When Nal went hunting, he stopped at a lake to rest. There he saw many white swans, in the midst of which there was also one beautiful golden swan. Nal couldn't resist his fascinating creature. He slowly approached the golden swan from behind and seized it. The surrounding birds immediately flew away, but these golden birds couldn't escape Nal's tight grip. To his surprise, the swan suddenly spoke to him in a human voice. "Oh great Nal, please let me go. I need freedom, just like every living being on the planet. You are a great king, general, and ruler, and I know that you will agree with me." Nal realized the truth in the swan's word. He loosened his grip to release the bird. "I am glad you did that," said the swan. "You have listened to a bird and done your duty as a compassionate ruler. Some people receive help. They should be grateful. So in return, I will give you something. I will ensure that you get the finest match in this world. Princess Damayanti, the daughter of the king Bhim, is celebrated for her beauty. Gods want to marry her and Apsara are jealous of her. Her loveliness is truly unmatched, even in the heavens. I give you my words that I will introduce you to her." Saying thus, the bird flew away. Deep in thought, Nal stood in silence, still processing this unexpected turn of events. He had indeed heard of Damayanti and felt ecstatic about the swan's promise. The swan made his journey to Vidarbha. He went to the royal garden and hid behind a bush. Other white swans also joined him and cheerfully moved about in the garden. Princess Damayanti was attracted to the white swan, but when she approached them, they all flew away. After some time, Damayanti stopped the gold-winged swan. She was enchanted and went close to him with the intention of catching him. When she approached the bird, he slowly moved away and lured her a short distance from her friends and guards, where nobody could see them. Then he allowed himself to be caught by the princess. The swan said, O Damayanti, the most beautiful one, please release me. I am the messenger of Nal, the most handsome prince I have ever seen. No princess other than you is worthy of his valor and compassion. I have seen millions of couples, but most are mismatched. Nal and you are truly worthy of each other in every way. If you set me free, I will take your message back to Nal. The bird went on to describe Nal and his army outstanding qualities. Without realizing it, Damayanti began fall in love with this unknown prince. She set the swan free. A few days passed and Nal occupied Damayanti's thoughts all day and all night. She could neither sleep nor eat properly. She was a young woman utterly and desperately in love. When her father, Bhim, learnt of this development, he quickly arranged a big swayamvar and invited all the princes of the allied kingdom to attend. Nal was delighted to get an invitation. He dressed his best, got into his chariot, and started his journey towards Vidarbha. He was a skilled charioteer, possessing the ability to ride extremely fast. On the way, he saw 4 shining chariots and 4 handsome gods descending from the sky. The gods stopped Nal, and one of them said, I am Indra, the king of the gods. These are my friends: Agni, the god of fire; Vayu, the god of wind; the Varun, the god of water. True, there are gorgeous maidens in the heaven. We heard of Damayanti's celestial beauty and couldn't resist it, so we thought that at least one of us must marry her. Nal was dumbstruck. A noble prince. They continue, you are known for your wonderful manners, and hence we want a favor from you. Nal recovered and replied, Salutations to all of you. I am, after all, just a mortal. How may I help you? We request you to go to Damayanti as our ambassador of love. Describe our great qualities to her. Convince her that she must marry one of us. Explain to her that it is a privilege for a woman being to marry a god. Nal felt hopeless and disappointed. He replies with as much courage as he could muster, I will help you and say true to my word, but my lord, Damayanti is always surrounded by her relatives and friends. So how do I meet her privately to convey your desire and advocate your love? The god smiled with amusement. Don't worry, Nal. They said, we bless you with the power of invisibility so that you can fulfill your mission. For page 10. Next story tomorrow. Thank you so much.